hate waiting to play cricket. Umpires are in no rush here, are they? But it is, the outfield's wet, boy. Real wet. So who would you bowl at the end?
Shannon and Fidel.
Yeah, but Shannon and Fidel are going to bowl the first 2 overs, and I want Shannon to bowl like if Darren Bravo or somebody comes in, I want fucking Shannon to go with them. And then obviously Callis, think about your field to Callis too. But I think it's important at the start that we try and get rid of you just because of, I mean, fuck, man. It's going to be like bowling with a fucking thick peel of soap. Okay, mate. I fucking said to myself, I'm dropping this.
I was gonna go for it here.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go.
Oh, now we get into a point where he's just taking the mickey out of one of the greatest spinners in the world.
I do hope people don't ever take Kevin Pietersen for granted.
Whining like she from Africa. From Africa.
Everyone says, where's your favourite place to play cricket? I mean, have a look at this. Where else better to be playing cricket? We've got a game this evening at 6 o'clock. It's now midday. We're sat on the beach doing an interview. If we wouldn't, we'd be sat on the beach sun-tanning, or we'd be just chilling somewhere. It is an amazing place to play cricket. You bowled me the best bumper of my career. Here, the last ball of the day, remember? The last ball of the day has to be at the stumps. Has to be at the stumps. I go searching for the ball here. Glove off. Did I get 150 or 160? I've loved franchise cricket. I've really, really loved it. I've loved messing about with other guys from other countries and learning how to play my game the way that they play their game. I've always been a person who loves to learn about the game, who loves to see how other people do things and see if I've been doing things the right way. So it's an experience that I love because you're always enclosed in a bubble playing for England. I mean, it's just the media are all over you. You're cooped up. You feel that constant pressure, the weight of expectation on me to score runs every single time I go out and bat. Hello, madam. I think at the ripe old age of 35, extravagant haircuts are gone. Kitty, I'm good. I got a camera crew coming in here.
Yeah?
Yeah? Thank you, sir. So short back and sides, please.
The sharing room?
Yeah, the youngsters here.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, the senior players. If you played international cricket, you don't.
Your days for that, like,
Yeah, they're long gone. It's 10 years ago. 2005 that stopped.
Who did you used to share with England?
Never shared with England.
Never?
No, England don't share. Can you see where the line is in my hair?
Yeah, buddy.
You can see it?
Don't worry, man.
Yeah? Huh?
You don't want to worry.
I'm not worrying.
Nice one.
I just don't have a mirror here, so I can't see what you're doing.
So, Kev, what's it like spending so much of your life on the road?
It is good and it is bad. The good stuff is that you are actually living a dream. It's something that you've got to constantly remind yourself that you are actually in a very fortunate position. It's something that a lot of other people would love to be doing. The reality of it is that you do have bad days, and you do have days where you just think, I just cannot be bothered with being on tour. And that's why it's important for people who run the teams to give players breaks to keep them fresh. Yeah?
Oh, I find that's a damn good job.
That's quality, mate.
That would talk about.
That is quality. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
Yep. You're in the man.
Nah, just winning it.
Huh? Oh, wow.
That's tight, bro.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good one. Very tight. It's nice to see you with clothes on, Kelly. Like it. Have a good session today, bud.
One word answers, if you can.
Are we going in the nets?
What's your biggest strength?
6 each. An over each. Oh, baby!
Training.
Kevin, fuck off, will you? You'll have 2 men there, that's out. It's a shit shot.
What's your biggest weakness?
I don't think their bowling's amazing, man.
Too honest.
You've got to get yourself in, man. You can't fucking slog.
Which comes first, you or the team?
Outstanding bowling, bud.
Team.
Excellent, mate. Yes, my boy. You and Shannon are going to open the bowling for me. So just do what you've been doing in all your practice. HD, you little biscuit.
Who do you listen to first? Your inner self or your coach?
Fuck what that said.
You gotta get yourself.
You have to get yourself in, mate. Exactly.
Inner self.
Yes, my boy. That's the way.
Yes or no, are you a maverick?
Got to get my feet right.
I've been asked this question so many times. What is a maverick?
The thickest. Daddy was the leopard.
Daddy was the leopard.
Darling, what would you think I am out of the big five?
I'm not getting involved.
Explain why you had to leave South Africa to move on with your career.
There were just obstacles which were in my way. And those obstacles made me feel that I couldn't pursue what I wanted to do as a job. I was selected for a team on a day, and then one of the players of colour who was in a different discipline in the team got injured. And they told me, no, you can't play because the next best player is in your position. So the dynamic sort of changed. And I mean, I understand transformation now. I totally get it. It definitely needed to happen at that stage. But it was an obstacle for me, and I had an opportunity to get out. It was just a punt. It really was just a punt. I got offered £15,000 to come and play cricket in England, and I thought, why not?
When you're selected for the one-day series in South Africa for the first time by England, what sort of reception are you expecting going back?
Not a good one.
The booing was unbelievable. It was deafening. I was like this. Close my ears. I think you have to be really, really, really hard to not be very emotional about it.
You can have the game, but you've got to be able to cope with it. I was out in the middle when he first came out for his first innings. Gibbering wreck, I've never seen him like that since. But he coped with it, he was not out at the end and went on to have a tremendous series. I think it was then that we realised we had a special talent.
Vorney straight away said at the start of that tour, if any fucker gives KP any grief on this trip, we go back at them as a team. And the support that whole team showed me in South Africa there made me in a way want to play that well for them because of how much support they gave me there.
There it is. There's his first 100. He really has played superbly. This is a big celebration from Pietersen.
I always wanted earrings, I always wanted tattoos. And I used to have earrings. You remember KP had his earrings in? Yeah, copied me. And then I started with a tattoo, and I got the 3 lions and the crown. And we were in South Africa, and he said, I'm going to have that tattoo. I said, what? I said, you're South African. You can't have that. Your dad will kill you.
I gave Darren Goff such a hard time.
Again, it's a young man.
Yeah.
It's a young man who's going out there to find his feet in the world. For us, it's a mistake, but for him, it's a rite of passage.
It's quite strange. A lot of people have said to me over the last 18 months, just take the tattoo off, man. Well, the way that they treated you over the last 2 years, you shouldn't. And that's garbage, because what I've achieved over the last 10 years, the opportunity that England have given me, I wear this with pride. I love it. It's me.
If you were to sum up in one word the Ashes 2005, what word would you pick?
Goodness.
What jumps into your head?
Unbelievable.
What a bit of batting.
I was very vocal before the 2005 Ashes series saying this guy's got to be picked because it was him or Graham Thorpe that were going to be in that side, and I came out publicly and then I saw him get picked and I was very happy for him to get picked because the international cricket needed to see Kevin Pietersen because he's such a talent.
Nice to see you. All good? Sorry, you're training. Go horses! Are you injured again? What's happening? Are you just... yeah. I did think it was empty here today.
Is this a day in the life of, or is this?
It's
How's
just...
it, mate?
I'm good. You?
You're good?
Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
real good.
I'm doing a documentary.
Oh, yeah, what, Panorama or something?
Undercover rogue reporter.
The real Kevin Pietersen.
Exactly.
Is it?
At this ground, this is where they say I played that life-changing innings. He was obviously on the biggest stage in probably the biggest series that I've ever played in.
There was people sitting on the roofs outside the Oval watching, and you could sense the atmosphere mounting.
I wore a ridiculous hairstyle, which unfortunately is played whenever that series comes up on the television, which I hate.
In the air, oh, what a catch!
I don't remember a hell of a lot about it because it was so quick. Vaughan hit McGrath's the mid-wicket here, and then I looked up at the television screen and Bell was out for naught. So I was like, oh, Jesus, I got to get this. So I strapped that on there, wear my helmet gloves, walked out to bat, took my guard, one leg, please, Billy, took my mark, stood there, McGrath was running up. I thought, oh, he's going to attack the stumps here. 100% he's attacking the stumps, you have to. He double bluffs me, goes short, I didn't see it, hit my shoulder, and thank goodness Billy decided that it wasn't out. It was just a lovely day for batting. There was obviously a high-pressured environment. Warner's bowling from the top end, played forward to Warren, Gilchrist, Hayden dropped me, and then Lee was running in that fast spell. Lee was running in from this side here, and Warney infamously put me down at first slip.
It was a horrible experience. And one of the people we were with actually gave me a little glass of whiskey. She says, I think you need this.
If he didn't make that big score at the Oval, people might have thought, oh, he's just a one-day cricketer. So in a funny sort of a way, it sort of worked out that it was fantastic that he did make that big score, that big 100, and people saw what a class act he is.
I remember waking up in the morning, and the papers saying England needs one hero, and I was desperate to be that hero. I just wanted to be in that stage. I wanted to be the guy who did the business, and yeah, luckily, it was my day.
That's a beautiful stroke with which to make a maiden Test century.
And you sit there and you think, wow, how big is that moment in your child's life? I mean, that was the defining moment of his life, wasn't it?
Pietersen will receive a standing ovation. He gets one from Shane Warne at the moment.
Enjoy this moment. Take it and you deserve it. Brilliant from Warney, and I was like, okay, maybe I should. So I started waving my bat around.
All-time perfect. There it is. England have regained the Ashes.
What do you remember of the bus top tour of London?
Not a great deal. It's such a nice thing to do. It's so amazing for the fans and for the players alike. That it's one of the things which, I mean, yeah, the previous regime pissed me off because we won the Ashes in 2009. The guy should have been on an open deck bus tour going through London again then, celebrating with the fans. We were never allowed to pat ourselves on the back. We were never allowed to be happy and enjoy moments. Dunny?
Yeah?
Just pop down the barbers, please.
No, I'm growing.
Please?
I
just don't see the upside from bad haircuts.
I think Kevin sometimes is too honest for his own good, and he gets misunderstood because of the difference in nationalities. Kevin can tell you he's English and he's got the 3 lions tattoo, same as me, exactly how we had it done at the same time. But he was born in South Africa. His mum's English, his dad's African. There's a big difference there. And I think he's tried almost too hard to be English instead of just being what he is.
Samir Badri, very effective at the top of the innings. Pulled away, should be a hero maximum. Very typical of Johnson Charles.
So strong, isn't he, Jono? It's not the easiest shot because he hasn't properly got the pace of the wicket yet and he's just hit him fucking into the stands. Yeah.
the air and taken. Dwayne Bravo runs around.
What is the basic nature of the Kevin Pietersen approach to batting?
Bad luck, mate.
Look to score. Be positive. Look to score.
That was a made-up Kevin Pietersen special.
He was the best I played with. A batsman that can take on the best bowlers, make, in my time, some of the greatest bowlers that's ever played the game look ordinary.
Oh, he's given that everything. Pure arrogance, that is.
The single most exhilarating, exciting, dangerous, brilliant, unpredictable genius of a batsman that I have seen in my entire lifetime.
He brought an aggressive, he brought a dominating factor into English cricket and a brashness.
No! He's the only bloke I know fell in love with himself at 16 and has been faithful ever since.
What's the tabloid image of KP?
Probably the tabloid image is flashy and arrogant.
Who's the real KP?
Well, I'm not flashy, and arrogance is something that I think is just confidence.
And he's got it.
What a fantastic 100. And what anybody says about off-field stuff or in the team, he is one of England's great batsmen.
My role as a player for England was to put us in positions to win games of cricket. I didn't settle for mediocrity, and maybe I was a little bit too honest. I told guys, I said, listen, you're not pulling your weight here, but if somebody was doing something really well, they'd know that they were doing it well too because I'd be telling them.
That's outstanding. Outstanding batting. Over up.
I'm a free spirit. I know what I need to be successful. If somebody keeps telling you what to do, you don't learn to do it yourself. I don't want to be told what not to do. I want to be told what to do and be that positive sort of person.
How many England coaches understood that in you?
Duncan Fletcher.
Nobody else?
Unfortunately not.
The 28-year-old South African-born batsman is now England's captain. But how will the man whose ego and approach some have questioned handle the top job?
In 2008, you said yes to being England captain.
Yeah.
Why?
I think I had to.
They are huge boots that I've got to try and fill, but I'll give it the best possible go that I can give it.
My relationship with Peter Moores wasn't great, so we had to go and have a meeting and talk about our differences and see if we can put them to one side. I'd never captained before. I didn't know what captaincy was about, and I probably shouldn't have captained the side because I hadn't experienced a lot of the things that you need to experience, I think, to be a good captain. And
would you turn it down now if you were offered? Knowing what you know now...
I don't think you can.
No. You can't turn England down.
How can you turn down captain in your country? No thanks, lads. I'm fine. So I had to do it. It was never going to end well, I don't think. Never.
Kevin, can you just clarify, did you resign or were you sacked?
Well, we now know Kevin Pietersen did resign, but little else is clear on this, one of English cricket's darkest days.
I look at it like a hurricane. The hurricane comes and the hurricane goes. I mean, when I lost the captaincy in 2009, that was pretty severe. I mean, I had every single news channel sitting on our doorstep. I had 10 photographers as soon as I left the house. That was madness. That was as bad as I ever had it, I think.
What did that teach you, the captaincy issue, losing it relatively quickly?
I got to try and become better at politics.
When he lost the captaincy, that was particularly difficult for us. He was painted as an absolute villain. It hurts me because I've not been able to develop as much of a thick skin as he has. He can almost put a bit of a coat of armour around himself. I'm much softer, and so, you know, this is my husband, he's the father of my kids, and it's not always been easy.
Right, let's see if you can whack it. Woohoo! Go, Cherry! Good go, isn't it? That was a good one. Shot, Didi. Go, Teddy, go! Teddy, go!
He's a brilliant dad. He's the best. He's always been really, really hands-on. He absolutely adores the bones of Dylan and wants to spend as much time with him as he can. And he's loads of fun. Dylan adores him. I couldn't wish for a better dad.
Okay, hit it from there. See if you can hit it. Shot, boy. This morning, we took his iPad away because he needed to get dressed for school. And I just heard the funniest thing come out of his mouth, and it was just so his mum. This is the worst day of my life.
No, when have you ever heard me say that?
Never heard you say that, but the drama, it was like,
it was
oh
the
my
worst
days,
day
are you
ever.
joking,
Yeah.
Dylan? This is the worst day ever. I looked at him, I went, what? I said, dude, you're 10 minutes into it. Dylan? Look at Daddy. Dylan. Good boy.
How great is that?
I didn't know anything about his image. I didn't follow cricket. I didn't. You know, when I first met him, I said, "Are you a batter or a bowler?" Because I'd never watched a game and I didn't know what I was asking him about what he did, and he laughed. So I remember my mum got me this book. It's probably on the bookshelf in there actually, but it's called "Bluff Your Way in Cricket."
It is a cricket pitch, this. It's definitely one. That's an AstroTurf. And these are the boundaries. There's 100% it is.
And it's just got like words and phrases and sentences you can come out with if you want to sound like you know what you're talking about.
I was his best man when he got married, and people ask why. When you get to know KP, he's the most loyal, friendly, generous bloke you will ever meet. And I mean that 100%. I'm not just saying it. Yep, you've got to get past the front. You've got to get past the Kevin Pietersen front, you know what I mean, who looks arrogant sometimes. He might ignore you when he first meet you. That's called shyness.
How are you, mate? You good? You? Not bad. Jesus, a proper size.
I know, that's what I'm saying. You're pretty person.
You get past that, and you get to meet Kevin and get to speak to him in a quiet room. The most generous, kindest bloke I've ever met.
And how many do you reckon this should go?
Well, I would like it to go no more than 4 rounds.
No more than 4.
There's no turning back, is what it is. It is what it is now. You know what I mean? So.
No, I don't know what it means. I'm going to go and find somebody and sit here fucking chilling out meeting people. Go world champion. Well, you have to train your way. You have to make sure that what you do out there transcends what you've done on the training fields. And I think that's probably the hardest thing you can do as a sportsman, is taking training straight into game time. But the guys that do that really well are the ones that succeed. And he looks as cool as anything now, just waiting to go out and perform. And he just said there's no going back now. So that's a pretty good state of mind to be in.
Ridiculous. He walked right into it. Yes. We'll have a little chat about it.
I never spoke a single word to a single journalist about anything that happened behind closed doors, which I thought were closed doors. It's just in me. I can't sit on something, sleep. It just kills me inside not to get it out.
Easy, easy! Brilliant start, Katoy.
Doesn't matter how much you say you like somebody or how well somebody's done, that never gets the applause or never gets the headlines. It's as soon as I come out and club somebody for being a muppet, that goes into the media.
In a word, sum up your relationship with Andy Flower.
3 words, not very good.
Why?
I didn't like his coaching methods. I didn't like the way he ran the England team like a military camp. I mean, I don't want to sit here and take Andy Flower apart because I respected his career and what he did for Zimbabwe was amazing. But I just didn't feel that he enjoyed the way that I played my game.
What dressing room culture began to emerge under Flower?
A batters versus bowlers culture. We were batters who were fielders who were shouted at if we got things wrong and messed up. You got a youngster who's being hammered by somebody in his team all the way off the field into the dressing room. It's just straight up, what the fuck do you think you're doing? Why the fuck you're not there? Shouldn't be a fucking single. Fucking. I said it, and I said it was bullying.
Oh, no, 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 no. It's really important you finish the over well for us here, okay? It's been brilliant. Finish well for us here. Come on now. Forget that ball, it's gone.
Graham Swan has said there was absolutely no bullying. Sure, bowlers shout at fielders like goalkeepers shout at defenders in football.
Brilliant. Same again, mate.
It's international sport, not the under-11s. If Kevin can't take criticism, then he's in the wrong business.
I like being shouted at. I like being told what to do when you're doing it wrong, but not when you make an honest mistake and you're trying your best. And there's certain ways that you go about your business, and we're not footballers. A keeper shouting at a defender, we're not playing football. So to try and compare it to that, no, Swanee, no.
How are ya?
Hi, Ed.
Hi, Ed. Kevin.
Nice to meet you, Kevin.
Okay. Hello, hi. Kevin, nice to see you.
I think we've got to the point now with the media when stuff gets written where we just don't even read it. It's so much easier to not read it, and ignorance is bliss.
What nicknames? We obviously know KP.
Yeah, KP, Calv, Capes. Fuck, I'm good, just ask me. That's what the Aussies gave me a few years ago.
We can't use it.
That's why I said fuck.
He's not perfect. None of us are. But all the things that people criticise him for, the cockiness, the arrogance, the unpredictability, etc., they're all the same qualities we loved in his batting. You can't have it always with these guys.
Thanks so much, man.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Nice to see you.
Yeah.
No problem, thank you. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
Lunchtime, is it?
It is lunch. I'm fucking starving. That's why I've nicked this. Right, where are my dudes? Do you guys come in for lunch? It's our first golf day for the foundation, and I just want everybody to really enjoy themselves. And I'm honestly really, really humbled and really grateful to have a room full of such amazing people who turned it up to support what should be a brilliant day. Kingy, how are you, mate? Well. Nice to see you. How are you, sir? You okay? Good to see you.
When did you first sense that you weren't just Kevin Pietersen, the cricketer now, you were Kevin Pietersen, the household name?
I'm glad you said household name, because I hate it when people say celebrity. I'm nowhere near. I'm just a sportsman who plays sport, who loves playing sport, and I've done it to the best of my ability.
Why are you not playing 18?
I'm on the second, and it's like a beat the pro, beat me. Don't lose to me. Oh, good day, mate. How are ya?
Hey, bub.
I'm good, mate. Thanks for coming.
My pleasure,
You okay?
You okay?
I'm good. We've got a good turnout today.
Is it going to get wet or not?
Huh? It'll rain a little bit, yeah, but it's not like yesterday. Not at all.
We were going to play yesterday. It's fucking heaving down there.
I did 8 holes yesterday, walked off.
Did you want to be famous?
Do not lose to me on the second. Don't lose to me.
Am I right in thinking you're only playing one hole?
Yes.
How come?
Don't lose to
Why
me.
are you not actually out there braving the other
Just sorry, I've got bigger and better people to talk to.
I don't know about wanting to be famous. I wanted to be good at what I did. When that happened and I was playing the way I was playing and the attention was what the attention was, and I mean, it was pretty full on for a 24-year-old or 25-year-old. I enjoyed it.
Did you swap it? You did? So the guys are going to change it around? Are you guys coming out to that hole? Anybody want to lift? What today's all about, it's about playing with mates and just giving mates an opportunity to enjoy this beautiful course. You okay? Nice to see you, mate. Thanks for coming.
Bandit this man, honestly.
No, I'm off 12.
Absolute favourite to win today.
And raise money for some really incredible work that my foundation's going to be doing and has been doing over the last 12 months.
We should have a little side bet for your charity?
£100? Do you want?
Is that all you can afford these days, Kevin?
Yeah, I'm unemployed, mate. A bit like you.
I've managed to ruin your cricket career this year, and now I'm going to ruin your golf career. Sure it's not too slippery, that grip. Oh! Get in
I
there!
cannot believe it!
Usain, the KP Slayer, in his own backyard. I defended him so vocally on Twitter and continue to because, as an England fan, I miss watching him bat. As his mate, I think he was completely stitched up. I think the idea that you make the sacrificial lamb for an Ashes series where you get thrashed, the guy who scores the most runs, is completely perverse. I think he wasn't dropped for cricket reasons. He was dropped because some people just don't like him. Well, that's not good enough. Okay, Andrew Strauss was right about you. Absolute distraction. Did you enjoy cooking, picking up the ashes?
I need my putter.
You run out of superlatives when you watch this man bat, and this has been an innings of pure, unadulterated brilliance.
It's tough. Being me in playing for England is tough.
South Africa 2012, the summer of in England, you became aware of a parody Twitter account. And what was it all about?
It was just a piss take, which I can understand and I take if it's not from inside a dressing room. But from some of the stuff that was being tweeted, I was thinking this is a little bit too close to home. And then a player came and mentioned to me before the start of that first test match, that Twitter account is coming from inside this dressing room.
He was not in a good place at all. For him to be going into a dressing room and feeling like conversations are stopping when he walks in the room, he felt very alone, and I don't think he knew who he could trust. For him to be crying in a dressing room is just, I can't even really get my head around it. It's just not him at all.
Inside me, I was just like, Jesus, there's just a dagger through my heart. It was just like, fuck, and all the stuff that I get up to and do for these guys and the amount of test matches that I've won for these blokes, and people say, oh, you can't get bullied. Well, no, they wouldn't bully me to my face because I tell them to fuck off. So there was another way of doing it, and that was on social media, where they basically ripped me to shreds. It put me in a really dark place, I was broken for a while there.
When he's playing well and everything's happy in the dressing room, that he's a great asset to the side. But, that's not where we are right at the moment.
Do you feel that the ECB let you down?
Absolutely. I mean, they killed me for text messaging, which was blown totally out of proportion, whereas they totally brushed under the carpet or swept under the carpet. That whole Twitter thing, which was a complete betrayal of a fellow player. The text messaging thing wasn't one of the most wonderful periods of my life, and I regret calling Andrew Strauss a doos. But the biggest thing from that, which they tried to get from me, was that I sent tactical information to the opposition, which was the biggest amount of bullshit.
The way that was reported, with them saying things like, he told them how to get Andrew Strauss out, it's such bollocks. Basically, that goes to the crux of who he is as a person, and you're basically calling him a cheat.
Where was the big deal? I was in a bad place. He was walking past me, talking to my teammates, talking to my buddies who I play with in the IPL. What am I supposed to do? Walk past him and go, because Andrew Strauss has told me he doesn't want me talking to South African players? Well, fuck you. This guy's my mate.
Well, if he's not off two within the next 2 years of St. Rose, he's got such a good swing. I mean, look at him.
Thank you.
You have to treat the great players differently. At football, if I had the great players, I wanted them in my team. I wanted to make sure they was okay because I knew they were the ones that could win the game for us, and that's the most important thing. And I think that's sometimes where Kevin has been a little bit unfortunate, a little bit misunderstood.
Come on, Mr. Warne.
my gosh.
It's really important as a leader or as a captain to understand your players. And, you know, if you treat KP with respect and you make him feel important, that's when you get the best out of KP. And I always got the best from him, and he delivered. He got hundreds, he did all sorts of stuff. He was a great team man, no problem, never had an issue. So that's why I found it surprising hearing all that stuff out of the dressing room, the England dressing room, which I was staggered about. I thought it was poor management and poor captaincy, poor leadership from that group, not getting the best out of Kevin Pietersen.
So here's Cricket United drawing where the 05 team are drawing this victorious team, and they are doing exactly the same. And then they'll get auctioned off, won't they?
Yeah.
They're auctioned off for charity. When I drew Finney for the last time we did this, he copped a massive nose, and I've got to get him with his massive nose.
What's the one reason above all you're no longer playing for England?
I haven't been given one, so I don't know.
How's that? That's Finney, massive sniffer.
We couldn't trust him as a senior player to build the side around. That's their reason.
The strange thing about that is you build a team around all the players, and my relationship with most of those guys leaving that tour was amazing, absolutely amazing. We all drank in the bar after we got smashed in Sydney. All our wives, girlfriends, we were all in the bar.
Good result, sir. Jeez, what a turnaround. Who would ever have thought that? The environment's so different. Fuck, and that actually makes me happy. A lot of people go, oh, you fucking bit. It makes me so happy, because you know all the chats we've had. It makes me so happy. All these guys just laughing and joking. Root with a freaking Einstein mask on, taking the piss out of a car. Imagine trying to do that 3 years ago. Fuck, you would have been dropped for the next series.
Yes or no, have you given up on the idea of playing for England again?
Goodness, I want to say no.
I still am really angry on his behalf, actually. I feel as though he sort of had what were potentially the best years of his career with England. I feel as though he's had them stolen from him, really, if I'm totally honest.
I don't know how things are going to change. I'd love Dylan to actually understand and see what his daddy did. That's one of the biggest things. I'd love him to actually be at Lord's for me walking out to bat for England.
Hello. So when I get home, I'm going to ask Teddy, if Dylan brings you a cookie, you have to share it with me. Teddy's going to say, yes, Daddy.
She's just gonna yump it.
I don't want him bowling on the square. Is he allowed to bowl on the square? He can?
I think the only reason why I'm playing these T20 tournaments now is because I still love batting. Fielding, I've got so little interest in. Bowling, I've got even less interest than that in.
Let's go! Shannon, hold it, Shannon. Shannon on the leg spinner! Leg spinner.
I think the sadness for me about Kevin's exit from the England team in such spectacular, controversial fashion has been that we've really overlooked the incredible record he had for his country and the incredible legacy he leaves. Nearly 14,000 international runs for England in all forms of the game, the highest by any cricketer in the history of England cricket.
When KP finally retires, I think he'll be remembered as one of the most dominating batsmen in world cricket. I think he'll be remembered as one of the great players for England.
But he's just got that knack of knowing, you know, the crowd are watching him. And I think that takes some kind of mentality. You know, some would shrink under that pressure. You know, some would worry about the fact that many would expect special and great things from that style of player. Pietersen's not that kind of man. He just loved it.
Can he hit a maximum here, Oscar? Oh, you better believe it, baby! Babe Ruth, eat your heart out! This is whistled miles!
I think, look, Kevin's going to be remembered as one of the most controversial, polarising, brilliantly talented, occasionally obnoxious, super cocky, but memorable cricketers and sportsmen this country has ever produced.
That was a massive six. That was fucking massive.
We have to have characters in the game. I think if we didn't have any characters like that, it'd be extremely boring, and I think Kevin Pietersen has certainly been one of the biggest characters in cricket.
You fucking beauty!
I just think it's going to be really important for him to keep himself busy because I think he'll go mad just being at home. Yeah, I mean the golf is a big thing at the moment. Like you made a joke about turning professional, but I actually think it was only 50% humour and it was 50% serious.
What did they say? They said beware the wounded lion, huh?
And tonight now, what do you do now?
Well, I don't know. I think we'll all find out, and that's not coming anywhere near.
Even if all my days are gone, even with no words to this song, even if my girl up and runs, still tomorrow will come.
Oh! Fuck you, no, Ross. You dickhead. Yeah, in the nuts.